Hello again, everybody. Okay, we are back, and we are back with the torpedo build I mentioned in the last video. That's if you saw the last video. If you didn't, then obviously this is a plug for my video, so go and check out the other one. Little trick you other YouTubers can learn out there: plug your stuff, make everybody go and watch it, so you get more money. There you go, PewDiePie, and that's a little present for you, little man. Poods. I do love Poods. Even though everybody slags him off, I think the guy's awesome. Plus his missus pretty damn fit. Ossia, I think that's your name. If you ever leave old PewDiePie, just remember I'm always here, all ready and waiting for you. Okay, let's move on. Right, okay, so torpedo build. I'm going to go for something a little bit different again. As I say, I don't go for the high DPS standard sort of beam builds. I do everything apart from a beam build. We'll do a beam build. I think my next one will be a beam one, but it won't be a standard crit D plus beam fire at will plus what other thing do they use? Beta and penetration weapons. I'm not going to use any of that, or beam erased, mind you. Okay, right, so moving on with this one. Let's have a look what we're going to go for. So we're going to choose, I went for this ship, the Valois Sticker Heavy Battle Cruiser. No, I went for this because, basically because of the 5 weapons up front. I don't know, with a torpedo build I seem to find that mixing up with 5 works pretty damn well. There's plenty of different styles you can go for, but this is the one I'm going to show you here now. You know, this is the one that I like to use. I think I get the most damage out of it. I mean, you can swap some of these up, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I'm going to stick with the Valois because it's also got the command. This little bad boy here, the what is it? Concentrate firepower. That with the extra high yield 1. That's pretty sweet for a torpedo build. I mean, you can't really go wrong there. It's a good little one. So go for that. Okay, so let's make a move, guys. We're going to start with the weapons. So up front, the way you want to do it with a torpedo build is you want to go by the timings of them, and also what you want to fire first. Because these two, as you see, I've got the neutronic and the temporal disruption device. I mean, obviously, if you can't get that one, I'd say go for a Breen transphasic cluster torpedo. Something slow moving anyway. You want that to be sort of slowly moving toward the character, and it helps with your cooldowns. So all these are firing every second. There's a different torpedo firing. We'll go into that more when I move out into space. Actually, let's warp into space there so we get the stats again, like we did in the last one. I like the little Hellboy character there. See if we can figure out what it is. Alright. Okay. Okay, so it didn't disconnect this time, thank God. Right, let's move away from this lot. Because the noises that come out of the ship, I seem to have noticed that my video thing captures the game volume very loud compared to my voice volume, so I'll have to figure that out next time I do in-game runs, because my first video you could barely hear me speaking over the sound of the actual when I was flying the level. So if I do something over it, I'll be doing a bit of dubbing in a minute with that. Okay, so here's the Azteca. Beautiful looking little ship. Well, yeah, it's alright. I mean, what can you say about these sort of ships? They are what they are, just a long, tubular thing. Flies okay, nothing really particularly special about it. I literally chose it because it's got the command ability, and that obviously helps with torpedo build. You don't have to use command seating arrangements, you can use, I don't know, it just helps. Concentrate firepower does help big time, so I would suggest it, but you don't have to. You can swap this out and use a completely different ship. Some people, I think the best one to probably use will probably be the the Scimitar, the new Scimitar. It's the only use it's got is for a torp build in my eyes. So I can't believe they gave you a new Scimitar. All you poor Romulans out there, you Simi lovers sitting there waiting for your new Scimitar to come out, and when it does, what happens? They give it the command seat. I mean, what were you thinking, Cryptic? I know if you probably just thought if you give it Intel it would just be stupid, but come on. Some people might love it, but I think it's useless. Pretty useless. Okay, so for the weapons, as I was saying with the timing sort of thing, you want to go for the longest time to cool down ones first. So usually you'd probably put the like transphasic or this temporal one there. But I found that because with buffs and stuff, the cooldown's so quick, I keep finding this one keeps getting all the was it torpedo spread. So I swap them around so this gets the torpedo spread pretty much every time, and this one doesn't like hoggle the limelight, so to speak, and doesn't proc constantly, because I don't want that shooting too much, because it's not brilliant. It's just there as a little kick in the teeth if they miss it. I mean, as you can see by the damage, the 21,000, that's pretty high damage. I mean, if that does get on one of these, was it overwhelming force, is it? Or yeah, it's the concentrate firepower. If that does get a high yield from that as well, that sort of procs that to be a slow moving, but a torpedo, the way it's moving toward them, sort of radiates that temporal ability. What's it called? Temporal inversion field sort of thing. It radiates that out pretty much, so that's pretty handy. And then yeah, the damage is ridiculous. It's on a high yield. That one, Neutronic, it is the best, most powerful torpedo in the game, really, I believe. It definitely seems to hit harder than anything else. I don't know why. It's nothing special. I can't even really tell what damage type it is. I don't think it really boots for anything. It's not photonic. It's not quantum. I think it might be a quantum. I don't know. Anybody know? Give me comments. I mean, any comments tell me, because that might go into a quantum build if it does get boosted by quantums, and then you can get all these out. But who knows? So I'll use it anyway. Obviously I level everything up to like Mark 14. Any higher, it's not really much of a boost. You might get a ×2 on crit something or whatever, but it's nothing special, so probably not really worth wasting all the dill on torpedoes. Unless you love the torp, like the other one that I really love. Okay, so with these two here, I'd go for quick firing ones, quick firing torpedoes. Obviously the slowest time reducing one goes in front of the quickest, because that's the photon, that's like 6 seconds, and that one, because it's plasma, I think it's 8 seconds, but let's have a look. Where is it? Yeah, 8 seconds, so that's 8 seconds, and the info on that one is... Did it again? Jesus, 6 seconds, so there you go. Info on that one is 20 seconds, so that's 20 seconds recharge. And 12.5. So in theory you should have that in front of that one, but because that one is affected by high yield and spreads, I don't really want that to steal the limelight from this one getting the spread or something else. I mean, if you put that there, for some reason with the temporal, it seems to fire like constantly and bugs all the rest of these out, so stick it on the second one up. With the transphasic brine, if you haven't got this one, put the brine transphasic there, and it doesn't really matter, it doesn't bug out the rest. This plasma one, you probably haven't got that one, so it's a choice of your own really, what you want to go for in that one. The same with these ones. I mean, I would advise these two. I mean, just because of the corrosive plasma, that one's got the minus 20% all damage resistance over 20 seconds. That is nice. And when you hit it with like a spread or a high yield or something, it does cause like a massive cloud that anybody flies into it. It pretty much screws them over totally and gives, debuffs everybody and that sort of defensive stuff. So that's good as well. And also screws up vision for people because that cloud's quite dense. So it gets annoying, and people with crap PCs, so they have proper cloud lag, as you like to call it. So it'll screw them over again. This one here, the Terran Task Force. The only reason I have that, because the proc isn't great on it, the withering disruptor, blah blah blah. It's nothing great, nothing special. But the only reason you would use it, and the only reason I'd use this here as well, that's a bit of a pain that you have to use the 3-piece. All 3 of these parts, basically, in my eyes, are pretty much worthless, and I might actually get rid. I might do. But for a torp build, they come with something that's a must, really. I mean, you get the 3-piece, you get the 13.3 projectile damage, and then you get the secondary torpedo launchers. That might not sound that great, but I've actually noticed it to be pretty damn good if you put that at the right time, you are constantly firing a stream of torpedoes. I mean, there's just shitloads of them. I'll show you later in the video. So it is worth it, definitely worth the 3-piece. I mean, the torpedo is nothing special, and you need a rapid reloading one, so you might as well have that one. Otherwise you'd have the graviton one, the other photon graviton one, or something like that in its place, so you might as well just have that. The harping. Okay, this one here, everybody will probably go, why would you have the harping? I mean, the thing I find with the harping is it doesn't actually sort of share any cooldowns with any other torpedoes. This one fires no matter what, whenever it's charged. It doesn't interfere with any of this stuff's cooldown ratio and the fire ratio. If they're going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, you know, after and after, and that one just pops every now and then, and it doesn't sort of interfere with anything. So it's good to have, and plus the radiation on it. It'd be nice to know what it actually does. I don't think it actually really tells you what it does. It does something, and then after a while it does something again. But there's no real explanation for it. No, detonating impact, cause radiation damage over time. Doesn't really no, I see what I mean. Not a cryptic, unexplained item. But I like it, and it hits hard. You can see it hit hard, and it looks pretty as well when it flies at them, and then the explosion on the radiation must do something. So I think it's a worthwhile one because it doesn't affect any of these torpedoes, and it doesn't share cooldowns and blah blah blah. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to level up and put in there. Okay, right. So if you watched my last video as well, you probably realise the engines and shields and all that sort of jazz. I don't really use elites. I don't really bother with that sort of standard what everybody else would do sort of mix. I like to use 2-piece mix, so I use the adapted Mako here. On the info, I like the 2-piece from it because I also have the shield, so I got the 25% torpedo damage, the regeneration of 3.5, and the exotic power. That is good, along with the actual pieces themselves, which are pretty solid. You know, Mark 14 and they're pretty solid bits of kit, and that one, when you ultra rare it, you get the anti-proton damage as well, 20%, and the placate for PvP or anything, or you know, it's a solid shield. I mean, I think you'll find after a while that all the shields are pretty much the same. I mean, oh my god, I'm going to get attacked if I say that, but they're almost, to me, I don't really find them as like, who cares, it's just a shield, yeah, it keeps going, but you might as well use the one that benefits you the most. All of them pretty much, whatever. There's not a great deal between them all. Same with the 2-piece for the impulse and the warp core. Again, I like to use the warp core because it lets my power levels go over the top, plus you get the flow rate for your, you know, the Starship Electric Plasma flow rate that helps you with the power transfer. I like that too, and also 2-piece, which adds to, there it is, shield cap and shield drain. So that is also a nice little perk that comes with an already good warp core in my eyes. The impulse engines, I mean, I could actually swap these around quite easily, these two. Because the impulse engines, they're kind of like what I would use for something with override subsystem safeties, you know, because it gives you that extra damage resistance when your systems go flying. But for this time, I'm going to leave them on, because I'm going to mess around and have a look around and see what else I could use. Something that would maybe help torpedoes. I mean, it used to be in the day when you only wanted with the Romulans, but it's not really a good 2-piece on the Romulans. Aegis, nothing really special on the 2-piece, is pretty useless. Iconians, yeah, 2-piece is useless, 3-piece is good, 2-piece is rubbish. Maybe these ones would be a bit better, but no, to be honest, I think, well, no, I would stick with that. I would say there's nothing really else better than that. Maybe you can go for the fleet ones and the fleet warp core, but I'll stick with that because it works. Trust me, it works. Okay, so torpedoes up front. On the back, you want to go for, I don't know, just some omni beams, a couple of omni beams. You know, the thing with torpedoes is when you've got them all up front, you need something at the back to hit at 360 there has to be a 360 weapon at the back, because you'll find that half the time these won't fire unless something else fires from the back to sort of strike these off to start shooting. So if you don't put either turrets at 360 or an Omni being at the back, unless you're actually facing the target bang on, nothing will happen. They won't even start to think about firing unless you have this sort of stuff. I mean, it sounds a bit stupid, like you think it's like rubbish what I'm saying, but I've noticed when I've put just torps on the back or mines along the back and left no Omni beam on there or no turret to start the sort of firing cycle off, these just won't shoot. I don't know why, it just bugs everything out at the front. So always make sure, even if you're going to have mines, if you're going to have a couple of mines, maybe, you know, make sure you got like one Omni beam or one turret just propping something or touching them, you know, start the shooting cycle off. Just make sure it's touching something. Sorry. Right, okay, so where were we? So this one again, I said I wouldn't usually have this, pretty much useless, but it's got the 3-piece there. It's got the 3-piece, so I put it on anyway, just have that projectile and that sort of stuff there. Worthwhile having on. That one's just a standard sort of polar on beam. You could change it with something else, but why not just leave it on there just for the moment, because I'm not really too worried. The rear weapons, I'd rather have stuff to prop in the rear, because these Omnis, I mean, the only reason I've got this one on there because as you can see, it's got the where is it? 2.5 chance, 15 shield pen to self. Who knows how long that lasts for? God knows, it doesn't really give it another sort of undescriptive part of the game. There's loads of bits like that where it doesn't really tell you full details of what it actually does, but 15% shield pen with torpedoes, can't be bad. The other one, unfortunately, no, it's pretty useless. It's got PvP resistance. God knows if that's actually good at all. I mean, even in PvP, I don't even think that's good. PvP resistance, who knows? And that's standard Terran Task Force, right? Okay, consoles again. I'd say you have the red matter capacitor if you got it. Slap that in there. This one's must, gives you the defense. And these two, I just stick them there. People would put batteries in here and all that sort of stuff, but to be honest, I haven't used a battery in about a year and a half. I just don't think you need them anymore. The power levels seem to just go out the bloody, you know, off the charts, as they say all the time, so what's the point of having a battery nowadays? Maybe you can use the core battery just to give it a little weapon boost, but is it really worth it? I don't know. Who knows again? I don't think people really use quartermasters anymore like that 100% battery cooldown like they used to in the old days. Maybe that's something that Cryptic should do. Revamp all that sort of stuff. The battery's actually worthwhile again. But if anybody watches this and actually knows what they're talking about my battery, perhaps leave a comment, fill me in. I'm not an expert, I'm just like all of you lot. Stupid, been playing it for years and just trying my best to figure it out as I go along. But I think I've got a pretty good handle on things, so let's crack on. Okay, console, so I like to do pieces as much as I can, because 2 pieces is usually better than 3 pieces, so here we go again with Neutronic. We've got the Bio Gel Pack, and we've got the Neutronic Torpedo, so we get the radiation damage, plus reduction to Neutronic Torpedo. Nothing great, but helps. I mean, it gives me like 0.5 of a second or something stupid like that. It's good to have, and plus this console on its own is pretty damn good console. I mean, the 7% cooldown reduction and breach offer abilities alone is worth the console in my books. Okay, right, so what else are we going to go for? Again, another 2-piece here, so you probably won't have this console. Not many people buy it, because it's nothing special, but I think it's great. I think it's a good little console. I mean, the 35.6 all damage resistance, that alone is good. Build restoration, again, good, and minus 10% weapon power cost. I mean, for a cannon build or anything like that, somebody that's shooting a lot of beams, that's probably a pretty solid console. The only reason I'm using it with this build is because I've obviously got the plasma torpedo as well, so I might as well mix them up. And so I get the 32% plasma projectile weapon damage, which is for having a good console there and a British torpedo up there. It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? Okay, so here we go for the rules 62 again. Good for the power transfer rate. Good for the drain, for the plasmonic leech, and got the torpedo, minor torpedo damage too, so another good. So unfortunately it's a bit of a shame that the 2-piece on this one is actually a pile of crap, really. I mean, really? Why? And again, why? Ooh, summon a fighter allowed access to, wow, great, cheers. They should really update stuff like this. I mean, why don't they? Things that are actually worthless, they should just change it. I don't see why they can't change stuff. There's loads of stuff in a game like that you know, used to be good, or used to be used in the old days about 3 years ago, but since then it's never been used again, so why bother still keeping it the same? Mix it up, people. You're allowed to change things. Alright, so back to this. We've got this. I mean, this console here, in my eyes, is a pile of shite. It really doesn't. Let's have a look at how much difference it makes on the stats here. Let's get some bits up here. Okay, so what does it do? It gives you the maximum hit points. Let's see how much hit points drained by. So hull is 103, and that's a pretty solid bloody hull, isn't it? Really. So 93. So it's nothing special, is it? Really? 103. Barely anything. So it's not great. Weapon power, yeah, not really too worried about weapons. I'm not really. These rear weapons are not really putting out massive damage. They're just for proccing and shooting, basically. I mean, I should probably swap that around for something else, but you know, I'm gonna have the beam fire at will. Plus, there is a trait called Supremacy I have on as well, because I'm doing a beam fire build with Supremacy. You know, every shot of these little bad boys when they're on 4 will give you a power level, so that probably helps push them up power up when all of these are on there. If I mix that for like a mine or something like that, it'll probably make me lose a bit of power along the line somewhere. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but that's how I figure it in my head. If I'm wrong, again, leave a comment. Okay, so we got the plasma leech. That's hardly anybody uses it. I think it's good. I use it with every build I ever have. I really notice the difference of the power drain whenever you're shooting people, and obviously with them big 4 in, and I'm doing the Supremacy as well. All these 3 sort of mixed, that's going to give me a pretty substantial bit of energy power in the banks there. So it's always good to have these maximum. I try and always have these green up here, you know, out the roof, all of them at all times if I can. This little console here, right? Okay, so this one I think it's brilliant. I mean, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I think it's a really good little free console. Really, you didn't really have to work too hard to get it. You didn't have to pay for it, and look at that, maximum shield cap, critical chance and critical zev. Obviously I'm going to have my auxiliary high all the time, so all the time I've got maximum crit. Can't go wrong. Reduces damage to my shields as well. I mean, obviously the 2-piece on this, worthless. Tetra damage. Who are Tetra? Oh yeah, that really good blue looking beam that nobody uses. Well done. Okay. Right. What we got here then? We've got the, yeah, this is a win must as well. I mean, I think I said it in the last video, I showed this one, the boost you get. Watch my shields on the left there. Massive drop, you know, 6k, 6,000 just for that. Can be expensive. Unless you're like me and you have nice fleet members, you go, here, I've got loads of these, have a free one of these. You're going to grab it, really, aren't you, and use it all the time. So, yeah, definitely worthwhile. Okay, so tac console. So I would go for this little bad boy here. As you can see, it's got the 22 torp damage, the weapon power sets, the polaron damage, and the particle gens. Nothing special, but worth having again. You know, it gives you the torpedo. Good. Let's actually have a look, see what we got. Let's do a little basics on the half gang. So what torp we got? 10, 2, 3, 7. Take that off. 9852, so it's nothing special. But let's try another one. 10337 was before. 9703. So it's about 100 difference, you know, in DPS between one of these consoles and that console. Plus this one's doing a hell of a lot more than these than these ones here. See, that one's doing, you know, the polar on it well, so it's boosting your beams. There's letting them go to, what are they, 420? That's nothing. That's really crap power, but who cares? I mean, I would have turrets in here, but the stations on this ship don't allow turrets in, so I can't use the spread instead, which is a shame, but beam fire will be okay. But also with this one, because you're using actual chronometric beam, this one here, you get the 2-piece again, so another little boost here also, 3.6 auxiliary, and then another, God knows, plus 3 exists, plus 1 auxiliary power. God knows what that's supposed to mean. Maybe that's just at low settings, who knows. But it's another little added bonus for already what is a good console. Here we have the, what is it, just the torpedo weapon ones. No epics, I haven't got that far yet. I've got other things to grind first. This is by far on the back of my list of things to do. Okay, so we got 3 of them. I mean, you probably could swap this around for, would you swap it around for something? Probably not. I mean, there's not really anything else. There's other consoles that boost other things like photons, you know, only. But because we've got mixed torpedo damage here, there's no point mixing it around. I mean, I need to get the actual, these ones here, the torpedo weapon damage. You know, I've got no mix. It's all mixed up, so boost everything rather than picking out one certain torpedo type. People say maybe you should stick with just photons, you know, do a photon torpedo build, but I don't know. It makes me think you stick all photons up here, it's actually going to be really shit. You're actually going to get sort of, I don't know, they all do sort of different things. Like this one just hits hard no matter what, even if the ship's got shields on it, that thing seems to just smash them. This one here again, when the shields are down, Jesus Christ, it does hefty hits. But it's so slow, its target pull, it's pretty pretty worthless. It just looks scary and makes people run from it, especially in PvP. If you get 3 of them spraying out one person, he's dashing around trying desperately not to get hit by it. So that's good. I mean, yeah, the photons, I mean, what would Terran do? You'd have the Terran, you'd have the Grabwell one, which is pretty shite. What are the photon ones you have? Maybe they just dropped the photon one. Oh, I think there's another photon. Where is it? They just dropped a photon one. Oh, I don't know. I'm probably going off track anyway. Probably don't want to hear this, but there are other photon ones, but I don't think it's good to mix it up like that. I think you're better. Different weapons, different torps up front. I'll show you in a minute anyway when we get into space. Do a little fly around. I didn't look at this before actually. My stats for this ship. It's a pretty solid ship, really, isn't it? 103. 5k shields, not bad for pretty quick ship in my books. I mean, maybe it's just the way I've got it set up, but it seems to fly around pretty damn fast. Right, let's go through again. We're going to use for these guys, we're going to use these, you know, the temporal guys. Try and have as many as you can. 10% power reduction, these sort of things on the speed, recharge for bridge off abilities, because as you can see, I can double up on any abilities, everything's a one-off. But you'll see later on that all the stuff I've got on to cool down the bridge officers, you don't need to double up. You might miss a second here or a second there, but I really don't think you do. You know, all these people that are still flying around with their 2 loads of beam fire at will and 2 loads of beta, you guys are wasting bridge officers. You really are. Sorry to say it, but I think, especially with the new temporal stuff coming out, I mean, you've got this temporal business, you've got these little speed, you know, time reduction here, blah blah blah. You've got so many things to cool this stuff down, so there's no point actually using it. You might as well just do a one-off. Stick a couple of these temporal guys on there. I mean, they say that you should use the, what is it, the superior ROM operatives, so you get the, what is it, the crit severity, 2 crit chance, 5 crit severity. I mean that is good. I mean, I'm not saying that isn't a good addition to your collection, and you should have all that stuff on. I mean, maybe it's good to have one on, one off, but I don't know. One day somebody will do them. Some little clever dicky out there with their passes and they'll all the little Excel sheets think a guy called Avar on our fleet is pretty much like that. He's probably got a few Excel sheets that say, all these percentages. If you fire 3,000 rounds at this, blah 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 blah, you'll get that. But for me, I don't like that. I like to have only one of these and cool down everything quick. So I have these tactical readiness guys, and the same for engineering. I don't really worry about science because I only ever use one science ability anyway, so I'll just go for the pirates on that. For me, for this build, bits I would choose would be the ablative shell, gives you the recharge, gives you a bit of health. You've got the accurate, 10% accuracy, automated rerouting, so that basically gives you shield regeneration every time you plug one of those things that it's got listed there. Pretty good. Bit of elusiveness, because I'm an elusive kind of guy. Secret command codes, every time you controlled or subsystems are offline, so you get the 50% resist and the 20% damage resist, and the heal points, so that is good. And I think it's a new one out actually. I think it's a new one that just came out with a new expansion, and if you look on the exchange, I think it's 100 million quid. I know that anyway. Well, I bought it for way 100 million, so I bought it actually for every single char for a couple of million. I think about 5 pack, so pretty good. Okay, so Helmsman, this is like, I don't know if this is still expensive. It's been a while. I've obviously had this since it first came out, a good couple of years ago now. But it's good for the flight turn rate. It's got the evasive maneuvers cooldown. That's definitely a must for PvPers out there, because you know what it's like. You always need to evasive all the time, as much as you can, pretty much. It's a get out of jail free card. And if you haven't got one of them at that wrong moment in time, you are screwed. Same with the inspirational leader. I'm not going to go into that one. Have a quick read now, because that's too much to explain to you at this time of the day. Intense focus, right, all three from the Zindi, when the Zindi lockbox came out, all these three here, that one gives you that 15 seconds of combat, stacks 4 times of accessory shield pen. This one stacks 4 times as flight speed and turn rate. This one stacked 4 times for defense and shield upness. So they're the ones I'd go for there. And you could switch these up and maybe... Which one would you change? Which one would you change? Oh god, I wouldn't want to change any of them, to be honest. Not really, but... I mean, so if you didn't have some of this stuff, like, inspirational leader, not everybody has this one. I got it years ago. It was a reasonable price. Nowadays, everything will cost you 400 million or something stupid like that, no doubt. So if you haven't got that, probably torp build. Use some torpy. Maybe that. I don't know. Maybe. Can confuse. If you're ever going to go in PvP, that'll probably be nice for a good little torp build. And every torpedo constantly spraying them at everybody. Every 3 seconds, 10% chance. Could be alright. Or maybe even a kinetic precision. Who knows? I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you that you can sort of twiddle around all those sort of things. It's not going to make a humongous difference. I just like to stick to these. These are the pay to win, pay to win stuff. Yeah, got to use a bit of that, haven't you? Okay, traits. Right, with traits. So this one here, I'm not going to use that. Or should I? Because I can't use that anyway. There's no point having that on, so let's get rid. So the energy web's gone. I mean, obviously for cannons or big overload builds, that is a wicked little manoeuvre, especially for PvP. It pisses everybody off and everybody will use it on you. So that's a good one. For now, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to quickly choose something else to put in its place. Or tempted, but I won't. Because I don't know. Has anybody really found this to actually really help that much? I haven't found a great boost in it. Maybe very quickly, but I think it's only got a 5-second window or something stupid, so maybe that's why, unless you're getting a load threat, it's pretty useless. Okay, so I'm not using beam overload, so I won't use that. Won't use that. Maybe... no. Okay, so I've got more force on. Standoff's quite good. Now I have wanted to use this, but I don't get damaged enough to actually notice that I need to use it. So we're going to go for... No. Let's fire some more torpedoes out. Here you go. 5,000 kinetic damage every 4 seconds. Why not? I'm going to be facing the front one. It's just another little torpedo. Looks cool, like a little friendly torpedo missile. I don't know if anybody's used that on a spread 3 and face loads of characters. That Ferengi rapid fire little missile. It's a load of crap. Let me just show you the one I'm talking about. Let's get it out if I've got it anywhere. Oh, no, it's locked on a ship downstairs. Sorry, can't show you. But if you know which one I'm on about, the little micro missile from the Ferengi Lobby store, it is so cool when you fire that on a spread 3 with loads of people in front of you. It's just awesome. And you also have the Corum or the console that gives you the little torpedo spread 2. That, fire them two at the same time with the torp spread 3. Brilliant special effects. Billions of, hundreds of little missiles all swirling at their enemy. But problem is they do barrel damage, so they're pretty worthless. They're just for beauty. Okay, so we'll put that on. Get that on there for another little torpedo damage. Got the highly specialised. This is for the concentrate firepower 2. Reducing them by 5% and giving you those starship hull restoration, blah blah blah. That's the only thing that I actually have 2 copies of. That's because I haven't really thought too far about reducing these little bad boys yet. I mean, obviously I'm going to get the 5% every time I plug them from that. But I think that's all that really cools them down, to be honest. I don't think there's any ability like reciprocity, if I can't even say that. It doesn't affect it, that does it into attack, so... I don't know, and you can't sit here and, unfortunately, unless you're in battle, you can't sit here and just press them and see what the other cooldowns to test them, like you can all the other ones. You can sort of just press them and see what it goes, but these ones you can't, so... I've never tested, so we'll just stick with 2 copies for now. Otherwise I'll probably get rid of number 1. If I could get the cooldown pretty much to global all the time on that one, I'd probably get rid of that. And what else would I put in this place? I'd probably put, what's it called? Structural collapse. Yeah, I'd probably put structural collapse in that place. Structural collapse 1, because that one honestly gives, really good. I don't think I've got it on this chart to show you. Structural integrity collapse, where is it? We have got it on... What about Charles? Hold with me, guys, hold with me. Just get up here. There it is, right, okay. So there you go, 18 kinetic damage resistance rating, blah blah blah, plus damage over time. I mean, that, I would ideally want to put that somewhere here. But I can't fit it in. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a shame here, not being able to fit the structural integrity collapse into this building. Maybe I'll have to check it a bit, have a little run, have a little look around and see what the cooldown is on this, see if it's actually getting a global pretty much generic, because you can't really test in space here either, because half of this stuff works on you being shot at, like reciprocity. I can never say that bloody word. That relies on you being shot at and being missed, so it's not a true test doing it in space. Okay, but if I could, yeah, as I said, structural collapse would be in there, because that's an NG, you see, I'll stick it there. Okay, so yeah, so we got the bridges. We're starting with these 2. Yeah, we got these construct firepower for the 50% extra kinetic damage. That's a must for a torp build, 10 to 15, blah blah blah. We got the attack team. That again might not really be that needed. I mean, I've found it to be good. It is a good one, but is it really a must? Who knows? You can play with it. I mean, what else would you put in there? Unfortunately, it's just a standard bridge seat. There's nothing really special about it. I mean, what can you really put in one apart from that? Not a great deal. Maybe you could put a beam fire at World 1 and then swap out the other beam fire at World 2, because to be honest, it's not a great difference between the 2, and you're not really worried about the beams doing damage. So maybe I'll do that. I mean, you've got the beta one there. Definitely have a beta somewhere. Yeah, it's always good to have a beta just to get a bit of damage resistant rating down just before the torpedo smash them up. Chemosite one. Actually, probably that's what I could do there. I could put a Chemosite 2 in. See, it's only got 10% all damage resistance for foes. Maybe if I... No, I can't, because got trapped by my seat bridge officers. See, obviously these two guys here, they give the time bridge officer reduction by 10%. So, unfortunately, Chemosite Laced 1 is on this character. Chemosite Laced 2 is on this character, as you can see. And he's a ROM superior operative. It's nice to use, but because I want the time reduction, I can't swap it out. Bugger. And then Chemosite 2 obviously costs millions and millions. I'm not going to buy a spare one just to fiddle around with the build. So I will leave it. I will not rent around anymore. And I'll just move on. Unfortunately, here we go. So we've got the big fire wheel. We've got the torpedo spread 3. That again. I'd usually use a high yield if I was doing PvP, but with the thing, if you're doing a PvP, the torpedo spread will never miss. High yield will miss. So it's a big trade-off, isn't it? It's a trade-off whether you want to do big hits, quick big hit, or do a spread of unmissable hit. Again, that's questionable whether which one is best. I don't really know. But for this, we'll go for prettiness, because spread looks gorgeous. Obviously, it's loads of torpedoes flying out. It looks much better than just 3 or 4. Engineering seats, we're going to go with, again, another temporal cooldown guide for the engineer. I mean, engineer I'm kind of really stuck with. I wish this was not a 3-way. That sounds great. Then, yeah. I wish it wasn't I wish this was not a 4-way, sorry. I wish it was just 3 seats. I mean, I don't really need this. I mean, what is it, 42.9 damage, all damage, but that's within 4k, so with a torp build you don't want to be within 4k. Not really. I'm actually going to get rid of it. I mean, I keep it on because I just think, well, what the hell, the other one's pretty useless. I mean, what have you got here? Acetone beam. Let's have a look. Radiation damage, yes, all damage. Nothing special again. This is just not really worth it, is it? And the cooldown on that's massive. It's like a minute again. What's the point? Structural field, yeah. It's alright, yeah, that's not too bad. That's a pretty good little booster just in case you're about to die, so. But, I mean, everybody would go reverse shield. I know what everybody else is saying right now. They'd be like, yeah, go reverse shield polarity. But honestly, in a PvP, yeah, maybe I'd go reverse shield polarity because you can't go wrong. Stick it with the DOF that adds more time to this, and you can be pretty much, have that up full, for quite a while before people stop getting pissed off trying to shoot you and not actually doing any damage. So it is a good thing, but for SCFs, I would carry on using this one. I mean, yeah, why not? It does some kind of output damage. None of the others really do apart from that, but I'm not going to use that because it's rubbish. I could use like, warp. The warp matter spread stuff, that leaves a cloud of warp signature. But again, I don't want to be going anywhere near them, so I just want to stay back and shoot them from far. So what's the point of having that? Because you need to sort of spread it across people's paths to actually really have any effect, and to be honest, it's pretty much useless anyway. It used to be a real pain in the arse, but nowadays it used to be. A good couple of years ago, I remember you run that warp stuff and it was like, you bastard, I'm stuck for a while now. But nowadays it's just, yeah, whatever, I'll fly through that and it won't even touch me. He'll laugh at them while they're spreading it. So I'll leave that on. Okay, we already went over that one. Science. Yeah, no science team, no nothing like that. I don't really bother with it. I've never used science team in my life and I won't bother again. Yeah, so what's the point? For this one I used tachyon beam. Now tachyon beam, everybody probably wonders why I use the tachyon beam. Maybe I should use You know, tractor beam repulsors for the extra cheese. I mean, maybe in a PvP I would, maybe. Yeah, probably because it's really annoying. Or feedback pulse, and even more annoying. But I'm kind of, because I usually fly raiders and fast ships, I'm an anti-beam, feedback pulse user, because I'm sick of them doing it against me and me killing myself all the time, so I try not to. Plus as well, I think every time you run like a Borg mission, you go past the gate, it's that annoying blue beam that hits your ship and then suddenly all your shields vanish. Well, that's the tachyon beam. So it must work both ways, and it does actually do a pretty good beastly bit of damage to the shields. And think you're firing kinetic damage, you want to fire loads of torps, get those shields down quick. It has a pretty quick reduction time as well, so was it 17.5 sec recharge, so if you like 17 secs, pretty much get a nice little shield drain there, so it's not bad. I mean, maybe you should use a tractor beam instead, hold them there while you're smashing with torpedoes, but that's for the 5k. Most of the time I don't really get 5k close, so whatever. Use this little bad boy. It has the Miz one, that's just your a good bit of health boost every now and then, clears all your hazard debuffs and all that sort of rubbish as well, so that's a good one to have. I never really need much more heals than that. Sometimes I'd use a pilot team on a smaller ship. To be honest, I've found this one to be a bit of a tank actually. Without really trying to make it a tank build, it seems to be tanky. God knows why. Maybe it's to do with the Orcs powered damps. Oh, I didn't go over these, did I? I got stuck here. That's another one. Yeah, I forgot to do that. I forgot to do the what else I'm doing on this one here. So I've got dampness 2, the shield 2, and the engines 1. I'm not too worried about speed on this ship, so I just have an engines 1 on there, just to give it that little extra boost. I mean, most people would go weapons, but I think speed beats weapons hand down, especially if you want to stay alive. If you're not just interested in doing the stupid, ridiculous damage, just keep your engines going, people. Keep flying around, keep some speed. Okay, so that's them there. Not gonna worry about the ground stuff. Skills for me. I mean, if you want to pause it and have a look at my skill tree, go right ahead. Nothing special. Not really maxed any of these things out. I just find a generic sort of like roundabout mix is more solid really over the top. I mean, I have lost since the new skill tree came out. I did lose a shed load of DPS, but then I did gain a hell of a lot more defense. If that makes sense. It's probably just because I put a lot more stuff in defense this time, but whatever. You know what I mean. You don't need all this. You don't need all maximum to get it. I mean, you probably do if you're just looking for raw DPS, but you don't really need it all. I wish I could have it all, but to keep a bit more survivability, I've stuck a bit more down here. And it works. It does work. Specializations, you're definitely going to have command officer for the torp build, for the where is it? Let's click on it. What is it? You got the scan for weakness, you can exploit, so you get 50% armor penetration on torpedoes. That one, when you're firing at willing, and all that with your beam 4, that procs all the time, so that's also a good one. Oh, sorry, it's actually that one. So you get 2% chance. You get 2% chance to get through there. Attacking charges, export torpedo, drains the shields as well. So another little good one. Violent detonation. Let's go for that one. Increase armor pens, torpedo explodes to 100%. See, crazy damage. 100%. Wow. And obviously tier 2 stuff. Nothing special. Well, 10% defense. Pretty much useless. Anything past that, I mean, Keys Hills is good. It is good. I mean, it's a shame you can't move that up there because these are pretty shit. But that is pretty badass. But then again, that is useless again. I mean, another useless trait at tier 4. Tier 4 should say the badass. You want to get to tier 4 because this stuff is great. But in fact, this stuff, I mean, what the hell? That's just... Would anybody actually use that? I don't know. I don't know. It just seems pretty useless to me. And that one, Specialisation XP for other people and yourself. Yay, thanks for that. That's a real good tier 4 move. Yeah, thanks. So, with the command officer, I'd just, stick it on tier 2. You don't really need it. Primary. Some people would say go strategist for tier 2 and commands tier 1, but box to that. Strategist is good for PvP. I don't think it's very great for SGFs, but I don't know, it is good. It's good, but there's too much trade-offs to use it. There's too many trade-offs to use that. If that was 2, if you could use that maybe a primary and not just keep it as a 4 secondary and it had more stuff in it, that would probably be handy, because then you could mix it up with other stuff. But because it forces you to use it as a secondary, that again, Cryptic, why would you force something to be a secondary? Because then it kind of really does fuck you over for a lot of other things. And the temporal's not too bad. I haven't actually used the temporal one yet because I haven't maxed it out, because thank Cryptic, I used to have like 50 of these saved up for this, but they've bloody disappeared as well. Another thing I used, lost, as well as half my costumes. Moving on. Continuing, that seems good. I mean, that seems like a really good sort of PvP to have with your all your other little traits, like your invincible trait and other bits and pieces. I mean, that if you're down to 10%, that's going to give you a lovely little boost. But then the trade for the minus 80 all damage, minus 66 flight speed for 20 seconds. I mean, Christ, that is like anybody knows that it's a little bit PvP. 20 seconds is a bloody eternity. I mean, that should be nerfed big time. That's crazy. I don't know why they would do that. But then that's good. That reduces the ability of cooldown to 50. But what use is that if everything's buggered? I mean, maybe it's good for healing. You can quickly smash on your heal. I mean, that's going to give you 25k heals and 14 shield facings per set. So that's going to pretty much get you to like 50 to 60% if you're down to 10% hull already. 70% maybe. Plus you're going to be, what is it? You're going to be backwards 8 kilometers. Teleports backwards. So that actually explains that teleport backwards, so you're going to go backwards, so your enemy's coming at you, firing a volley of cannons at your face, you hit hull down to 10%, you're almost out of energy, and then you're going to go back 8k, so then again you're lining up for your enemy to have another 10k run at you, while your office facing the opposite. That is actually terrible. If you think about what's going to happen when that procs off, that's going to actually put you in the line you up in front of your enemy, ready for him to have another full volley at you while you're pretty much dead. Wait a minute, that can't be right. They couldn't have stupidly written that into it. I never really read this before properly, but that's telling me that that's like a line the enemy up for you to kill you shot. Free of charge. Okay, whatever. That's just dumb. And then, oh god, and then, well, of course, think you're running away from an enemy 8 kilometers away while they're shooting you in the arse where you got no health, plus you have minus 66.7 flight speed, so you can't even get away. You're just like a sitting duck waiting to die. So basically, temporal op is a pile of crap. Oh my god. I actually thought that was going to be really good. Oh no, if threatening starts activating. So if you're threatening, that teleport threat wipe will not occur. I don't know. Anybody comment there if you think that I'm talking crap, because that's how I read that. That it's going to stick you 8 kilometers in front of your enemy that's running at you, shooting with everything he's got. Pretty much screw you up for running away and give you a little bit of hull and then let you die. Tell me if you think I'm wrong, but that's how it reads. And then what's this bit actually, when all this goes off? Let's have a quick look. Adjust period, debuff no longer, adjust period. What the hell's adjust period? Also causes adjust period. Right, okay, so you don't lose the speed, right. Okay, so that bit there at the bottom, the debuff, 66.7 flight speed, you don't lose that, right, okay, so you can get away, but you're still lined up in front of your enemy. I was going to say customer then. You're still lined up in front of your enemy ready to get your ass kicked, so I still think that's shit, in my eyes. Let's have a look at the rest. Blah blah blah. Hit points, invulnerability. inevitability, sorry, not invulnerability. That seems rubbish as well. It's all for science, guys, really, isn't it? I mean, come on, face that. That's for... Yeah, it's all for, like, science people. Yeah, I wouldn't use it. No way. Okay, so new temporal operative, worthless, basically, unless you're Psi. Then it might be worthwhile, but does it really outpower some of the other ones? I don't think so. So the first place, my primary would be, it would be intelligence. You'd have tier 1, tier 2, so you got tier 1s. These little bad boys are all good. These are all solid moves, you know. No problem with any of these. None of them are really any bad. There we go. More accuracy. Can't go wrong. Stacks up 4 times. Every time you're getting 10% accuracy every 10 sec. It's pretty good. There you go. A bit more stealth. Who cares? Oh, actually, you get more. You get 5% accuracy. That stacks up to 4 times. So you're going to go miss, 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 hit, and then eventually for 10 seconds you can have loads of hits. So good. Placate, right. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, removes them. That's a good little removable thing. And again, that good. Tier 3, what we got for space? Here you go, space flanking. I mean, it's really noticeable. Really noticeable the flanking damage, and it's quite nice to see flanking. So you can tell when you're behind. If you can't actually see because there's a big jumbled mess of shit in front of you, and there's grab wheels all around and everything going on. If you see the yellow coming up, you know the damage counter saying flanking. Then you know you're up his arse. So it's a handy little tool to have. This is for your torpedoes, because a torpedo that helps your torps a bit of shield drain. And there you go. If you're hitting from behind, so if you can see the flanking damage counter hitting off, you get that. You get the crit sev, plus you get the crit chance. I mean, Intel in my eyes, there's nothing in Intel that you would say that's useless. I wouldn't use me. I mean, maybe that's a bit poor. Per sec, 147. That's pretty. You know, that's nothing. I mean, I don't know if it happened to every single torpedo hit. So again, another thing not explained by Cryptic, is that just a 1 proc, or is that every torpedo? So if I'm constantly hitting with torpedoes, it's losing shields for 10 secs, minus 147 each torp. Who knows? Nobody will ever know. I mean, I don't think it tells anywhere. No, another unexplained Cryptic thing. It'd be nice if there was a lot more detail to this sort of stuff, because you are left guessing. A lot of stuff you're left guessing. Okay, and then that's your main point. Use it, you know, +5 power recharge for all abilities. This it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. 10% shield pain, 15%. Sorry, it's good. You can't. As I said, Intel is a solid. You know, there's only a few solid ones that are actually any good out there. Intelligence officer is. There's nothing. It's crap on it. Command officer, you wouldn't go past tier 2, past tier, you know, even up to tier 1. You wouldn't go past tier 1, should I say? I mean, if that was there, that would be sweet. You know, command officer would be a definite. You would have it as a secondary skill, no matter what. But the rest, I mean, the rest is just crap. I mean, tier 4. Sorry, not go over that again. Let's not have that again. I mean, you always get this whole cap. That's quite nice as well. Maximum hit points. That's good. And it's from base, I believe. So if you know the difference about base damage, base hull, base shields, compared to like the other bit that they call when it makes it, you know, the 15% goes on the top rather than at the bottom. That makes no sense, but Google it. If my explanation makes no sense to anybody, just Google what you mean by base damage, base shields. Okay, so what else we got? What else is pretty much useless? We got. I mean, pilot is something I nearly always use as a secondary for every other ship. I mean, pilot's really cool. I love pilot. I mean, it gives you so much in space. As it says, all of it is space. So you class this as an active primary. I'd almost go as far to say that this is a better active primary in PvP than it would be for STFs. If I was STFs, I'd usually go this is pilot as a secondary, Intel as a primary, basically because of the what is it? I think it's turn the other cheek. I think they call it turn the other cheek. Where is it? Where is it? Oh god. Oh, there it is. So I thought these were ground then, so I didn't look at it. But I think this little bad here, these are good. These actually make a really good difference. And then that one, thick of it. I mean, whenever turn the other cheek becomes active, you're immune for 4 seconds. I mean, that becomes active all the time. I mean, constantly. So think how many times you're immune. I mean, I used to wonder when I used to PvP my mates, and there was one guy that was on our team, and honestly, I could never bloody kill him, no matter what. He would just be immune all the time. And I'd be wondering, how the hell are you staying so immune all the time? And I realised it's bloody turn the other thick of it. It's that one there. I know they say may only occur every 30 seconds, but then you add that to other things like invincible, some other bits that I mentioned earlier on in the video that, you know, stop you getting hurt. All them together can make you pretty much unkillable. I've seen people just immune for a whole PvP game because they're using all the shit that is just horrible to use and should be banned from mixing together. But that's again why PvP went a bit poo, because they got all this crap and cheddar and cheese that everybody uses that you can barely kill anybody. You get one of those, well, you're not the Aatrox, the blood time, the dildo shit from hell thingy. That one there when it does the temporal jump as well, back step, and oh god, that thing has got so much cheddar on it, you can barely bloody scratch it. And a few others, not to mention other ships that drive me crazy. Pensions. Okay, so Bob and Weave, there you go, another good one. I mean, Pilot again, even low wolf, 25-50% defense for 10 secs, blah blah blah. That is shitter. That is shitter. That placates the other teams. All your boys, if you're sitting there with your boys, they're getting a kick in, you can pretty much just fly and pug that off. The old screen goes into like the battle mode sort of thing. And for 10 secs they're placated, and you run in with full damage and mess everybody up. It's great fun. Again, Pilot again is another one that I would say max out and use it as much as you can. There's nothing really on it that's actually crap. That's really good. Expertise. Every time you plug in a beta or I don't think it works with alpha. Let's check. No. Maybe it doesn't work in space dock. Yeah, that one. No, I haven't even got it activated. That's by my hit. Okay, so yeah, every time you do your attack patterns, you get the temporary hit points, 15 secs. That's good. I mean, pretty much cooldown, so it's already been 15 secs, and beta's up again, so another 6,000 temporary hit points. Great. Eat my dust, 2% defense. Yeah, good. All good. There you go, that one there as well. But 80% you get a boost. I mean, Pilot, how can you say it's any good? How can you say it's any bad? Pilot again. They read all these ones: Magic Carpet Ride, Rock and Roll, after Rock and Roll. So Rock and Roll is a must as well in PvP. Oh god, yeah, save my bacon out of anything. If anybody puts you inside like that web, that temporal web thing, you can rock and roll while you're in it, and then the whole time you're there you're not getting damaged, nobody can hit you, and then by the time it's worn off you're out, and then you're gone because you've got all this stuff. Eat my dust, defense size up, 20% defense plus your turn rate, and you're flying off. So that with these is a must. Danger zone, and you get the damage as well. PvP again, you're always going to be with your team, so you get all the bonus damage from that one. And then that's always good if you stupidly fly through somebody's bloody exploding ship, which you'll do a lot, doesn't hurt you. There you get the bonus damage as well. Impulse drafting. So again, Pilot, another good one. Shield scraping, you can smash into people. That with what is it? When you're getting a kick in and you go yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Not abandoned ship, the other one. What's it called? When you're just like about to die and you think, I'm going to fly into this guy and kill him. Let me find it. Ramming speed. So that one there. That's great fun. I mean, who can say that's not fun when you manage to use that with the, where is it? This one here as well. So shield scraping, you're 100%, you're ramming speeding somebody, and bang bang bang. They get a massive hit with those two joined together. It's another good one to use. Oh God, I just realised I've totally gone off track here. I've gone off piece and really waffled on about something I shouldn't have for ages. So what we got here? So we got, yep, so secondary, primary. Okay, traits. We've been through the traits. Yep. We've been through the stations. Boss. That's what we need to do. We've been through these guys. Let's move on. Let's get some boss up. Look how skinned I am. 13,000 ET. Ooh. I've been spending some money, people. Okay, so roster it up. Let's have a look. So the ones I like to use, everybody says you should always use 3 of these. 20% chance to improve by 5-6. No, I say nay. Again, I say nay. We should, I should, 2 is enough. I've tried 3, makes no difference whatsoever. 2 is good enough to help you out with this. Plus 3 is a waste, because then you're going to have to get rid of one of these. And these guys, I mean, that one you definitely want to keep on there. You've got your beam for cracking all the time. Beam's always sparing everybody. You want your crit severity, so I'd keep that one on there. This one here for reducing your recharge time for that and that. So every time you plug these, it's reducing it on by 30%. Bosh, keep going, because you're always plugging everything. This one here, so 20% chance power level plus 25, so every time you're using that again, you're getting 20% power levels here. Lovely boost, and it always procs. This one here, you get your damage resistance rating from using this one. Every time I plug that lasts 23 seconds, plus you get plus of damage. Let me show you it here. Let's have a look. So stats, pretty good damage so far, 49%. Plug that one, 55. It's not a great boost, because as I said before, when I said to you about base damage, base resistance, blah blah blah, that's obviously not working from base, that's working on percentage roll up. These things do that. You know, you get to a certain point when you're pretty much at the peak, it's going to help you out. Or, yeah, I don't know how it works. I mean, there's a real sort of trick and intelligent way of explaining it all, and I'm sure there's some geeky little Star Trek lovers out there that know exactly what they're talking about. All I know is it doesn't help as much as you think it's going to say. If you're at, say, 60% defensive rating and you plug this console on it, it goes, whoa, 35.6 all energy damage. That's not going to go to, 90 all of a sudden. It's just not going to happen. You're going to sort of peak out at like 65, or it'll give you like 5 extra more, and then you'll be pissed off thinking it's lying to you. It's not lying to you, it's just something about base damage or cap damage, or there's wordings for it which, the Star Trekkers love to use. I don't know all these wordings, I'm old and I don't really care. All I know, it doesn't work. So, that one there gives you 40% damage resistance, always worth having. Okay, right, I think that's about it for now. So, there you go, so you got your reducing times, you have these little bad boys, right click everything, have it on auto, power levels, not too worried about doing any sort of damage with energy, so obviously you can leave that reasonably low. To be honest, sometimes I take it off altogether, but because I've got some beams, I think I want to do a little bit of damage with these things. I want to do a couple of thousand per hit. So if you leave it sort of halfway, by the time all your other bits are bugged off, you got this thing, you got other things that boost your power. When you're doing, like when you're actually shooting people and you're using beam fire at will, you're going to get loads of power going up to like here, and basically everything after a while, and then you're going to come back with the warp core. Because of that thing, you're going to have all your power levels pretty much at the top, and I'll show you in a minute anyway when I do a quick little run in the ship. Okay, right, so I think we are there, people. Let's move on. I'm just going to pause this, get into a game, and then I'll come back into a flight. I'll probably apply something simple like vortex again, or conduit. I'll probably go vortex, because conduit is a bit too quick sometimes depending on who you're with, so I'll do some vortex. See you in a minute. Cheers. Alright, okay, so we're back, and we're just about to go into a little bit of a mission here, see what we're going to do, and then I can show you what this little torpedo can do. I've had to dub over this one because I found that me talking alongside the mission running, you can barely hear a word I'm saying. It basically, still all you can hear is bloody game volume pumping while my voice is squeaking in the background, as you probably noticed from my last video. So now I've decided to dub over and sort of spectate while I do a mission. It gives me a little chance to watch stuff. Shame the screen I'm watching is not that big, but it'll do. Okay, right. So if this guy gets out of my way, then you can actually see the torpedoes and the flurry. As you can see there, there's quite a steady line of torps firing out of the thing. Yeah, pretty steady flow. I mean, we're not doing great damage against this guy at the moment. Later on I'll have to show you how that second torpedo thing works, because that does indeed work really well. Right, moving on. There's that plasma torpedo. See that there? The little plasma cloud it leaves behind, and that whole cloud there, they're getting debuffed. So they're kind of screwed. It's along their flight path, so I think it lasts the whole time they're in it. It's almost like a warp sort of signature thingy. Pretty sure, but again I don't know, because again Cryptid don't tell us. We don't know what this stuff actually does. Again, there you go, plasma cloud is that messing everything up that's stuck in that cloud right there. I mean, it looks cool. I'm hoping it does, but who knows? Who actually knows? As you can see by the torpedoes coming out, there's a fair few of them, and there's a constant string. It's not really messing up their cooldowns. I mean, on the left hand side it is jutting around a little bit, because I'm obviously spamming spacebar. I mean, spacebar with a torpedo build, having fire all weapons on spacebar is not great. It's good for cannons, works fine, but torpedoes, it's a little bit iffy. It's not perfect, but to be honest, sometimes with torps, even with torps, yeah, it kind of messes it up, because sometimes you do it with a different key and you'll realise, oh, your torps ain't firing, and then you have to press that key to fire the torps again, because something along the line has stopped their cycle, stopped them auto-firing, so you have to keep going with it. I don't know what it is, but there you go, I've just hit secondary torpedoes. You see that line of torpedoes coming out now? Now that is what you call a volley. Just endless stream. And imagine that lot coming at you. All those random different procs, all those different torpedoes getting you in for whatever it is, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That's definitely going to do some damage. Might not do so well against the Borg for some reason. Now I've just noticed this guy here, my team member, didn't bother actually picking up these two. Pretty much left them to me. And then I stupidly fire that neutronic, which has the splash, and it pushes it into the bloody gate. Luckily I get the first one, but that one escapes. All because of what's his face there. Everybody, remember that name. He is not a team member. When you're that side of the bloody gate, you're the one that deals with the fucking probes, not me, mate. Oh, he's doing all the damage. You take the probes out. I think he learned his lesson though, so I'm pretty sure after this he stays back and mines the probes and leaves me to take care of the bloody rest. He learned his lesson. Okay, another thing here, like, I think everybody just goes for the first two, gets the cube out, and then kills the cube, and then goes for the last two. You're going to be obviously be doing loads of splash damage, loads of forward damage, loads of other damage before you kill the last two, and you want to kill that gate. So while you're killing the cube, you might as well get rid of all four of them first. So you're killing the gate as well as the time as you're hitting the cube, so you're hitting all of it. So you're doing damage, because you know, the people that sort of leave the two at the back there and think, I'll get them after I've killed the cube, that's a bit dumb, because you can be hitting everything. Maybe that's a good idea, maybe it's not, but I think it's a good idea. I need to kill all four first, worry about the cube in a minute. As you can see by this ship though, it hasn't got as good. See, my radar actually stays alive quicker more than this sort of ship, because it doesn't have that pilot ability. That pilot ability for hold together. That thing keeps you going, it really does, keeps you on full power all the time. As long as you're moving quick, you're on power up, so that was a nice hit. You can see that was like 80k or something, that one. Killed that cube in that one big hit. Plasma torp again, didn't proc that time. Some nice big hits from some torpedoes there. So the thing with the torp build, it is a slow, over time, it's going to kill your sort of build. I mean, most of those torpedoes will hit, but not all of them. Again, I might pug the old, yeah, I'm going to pug it again in a minute. Oh no, I am doing it. Stream of torpedoes again. See, there you go. Loads of them. Constant flow. Does look awesome, that temporal one. See how quick the reduction is on that? That's a 20-second cooldown. And that's not 20 seconds, that's more like a few seconds, and it sort of perfectly lines up with the rest of them. You know, as I said, if you don't have the temporal one, just use a transphasic and you'll notice the same sort of difference, you know, get to its target. Or use that new, no, don't use that new one. The new chronotron thingy. I mean, it's a shame that one, because on a high yield it does that sort of mine thing that lays the net of mines, and they look cool and they do pretty reasonable damage, but I don't know, it only happens on high yield, you know, so there's going to be a random chance of that happening. It's not great, and the rest of the torp itself is pretty shit. So again, Cryptic bring out a great new toy for us to play with, and it's a toy that will sit in the bin because you won't ever get it out. I swear sometimes the guys at Cryptic don't actually play the game. So when they're writing that torpedo, did they really believe that that's going to be a deal breaker or something that people are going to put in their builds? Not really. I mean, the damage isn't great. What is it, 5,000? Yeah, I don't know. I know what I'm talking about, but who knows, you probably all disagree that torp's amazing, blah blah blah. But my opinion, I used it quickly once, and that was it. I went away to my stalls, put it away. I won't use it again. I was hoping it was going to be like bio torp, and actually have the indestructible, like, chronotron torp of death, but no, it's, again, please Cryptic, bring out another torp, bio torp, high yield, big blob. I love the blob torps. Try my best to get angles on the camera for you so you can actually see how many torps are coming out, but it's not as easy as you think. I'm not going to bother with them, leave them. Old matey boys down there covering the gate so we can kill them for me. Let's do a nice little spread on these boys over here, see what we can do. Well, there you go, the plasma one proc first, so that's going to debuff everybody nice and quick. And they're all stuck in that slimy shit. It's probably not slimy shit. Again, if anybody knows what it actually does, please tell me, because I don't know. Oh, the Neutronic screwed me over because it's on a high yield and I've got overwhelming force. See, that's that overwhelming force, I don't know if it's actually, it's probably a bad idea, I think I'm going to take that off, because you see what it did with the Neutronic there, because I'm progging the command ability. It's giving me a free high yield, so when that goes off it does that purple spread and pushes them all away. So when you're trying to cluster things with a torpedo build, you're actually pushing everything away. And again, I think I've plugged the old secondary torpedo, so now we're going again for another mass volley of endless torpedoes to finish her off. Watch the damage counters going, it's just, you are fooked. If you're caught with that sort of torpedo volley, you are fooked. Don't care who you are. Problem with that secondary torpedoes, it's probably not great for PvP. I say that because it's a bit like a gyro, you know, it takes a minute to start winding up. So you've got to sit there and let it sort of wind up and wind up and wind up, and eventually you'll be firing volleys, so you've got to keep your forward arc constantly on people. If you lose that sort of forward arc, it kind of ruins the momentum, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, right, so we're almost at the end of this. See what we can do to the Queen here. Not the Queen, this ain't the Queen, is it? This is, just some scimitar. Take that bundle. Absolutely hammered. Most solid scimitar in the world. Why is it that it always seems to come for me, that scimitar? No matter what level I play, the scimitar always seems to be coming straight for me whenever it appears. Okay, there you go, nice string of torpedoes again. That cooldown's definitely working. It's definitely firing everything off all cylinders, so anybody who says that that torpedo build doesn't work is crap. And also the DOFs, you only need 2 for the cooldowns. Seems to have no problem. There you go, I'm going to follow her now. She's invisible but I can see you. So that's a problem in PvP, people do that cloak thing and you forget there's other things that can see you, so you're kind of being marked out even though you can't be seen. I know when you're going to appear, you're going to be right there. There's that plasma torp again. Dynamite, that works. She's dead. Okay, so what do you think? You know, leave any comments, whatever. Link me to other videos or whatever that tells me about the that plasma torp, or any other sort of torpedo builds that may work better than that one. But to be honest, there's probably other ships that may work better, but not that actual torpedo build. That's pretty much a solid base to start your build on. There's other bits. I don't think I actually went through the space tree, but you need that kinetic, the trait that actually gives you like the 40% dot on kinetic attacks, so that's also a good thing. Right, cheers guys, see you later, bye bye.